Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are going to have a quick introduction of the symbols that we are going to use in algebra. So for example, when we see 2x plus 3, there are certain things that you need to take note of. So let me zoom in. 2, which is the number in front of a letter which we call a variable. This is actually called, there's a name for it, it's called coefficient. The letter, we used these letters to represent numbers, and we have a special name for it. It is called a variable, okay, which means that it basically can represent any number. And if there is a number without any letters, in this case 3, positive 3 to be more precise, this is what we call the constant term, the constant, because there's only one value fixed to it, 3. So these are the 3 things that you need to take note of that makes an algebraic expression. Okay, another thing to take note of would then be that the signs plus, minus, times, divide, equal is the same meaning as in algebra as in arithmetic that you all have learnt before, and also the order of operations, the Bodmer's rule, still applies in algebra. The next part would then be to have a quick look at what we call like terms and unlike terms. Okay? So for like terms, right? Like terms will be terms that have the same variable with the same power. Okay, example of like terms would then be, you see, x, 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 x square, x square, x square, xy, 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 x square y, x square y, x square y. Constants are all like terms because they represent this group called constant terms. Okay? So you can see that when we are looking at whether is it a like term or an unlike term, we only focuses on the variable. The coefficient, which is the number or the value in front of the variable, we are not too bothered about it. As for the unlike terms, I'm going to use a gray color. Then basically it's the opposite, meaning x and y are unlike terms, x and x square unlike terms because the power is different. Same goes for x and x square and xy also different, xy, xz, yz, x square y, xy square, constant and a variable, they are all unlike terms. And the last part though for us to take note of would then be that how do we perform operations on like terms? We don't perform operations on unlike terms. For like terms, we add or subtract like terms by adding or subtracting the coefficient that will determine how many of the variables of the like terms are left. Alright, so this is a quick recap of what we have learned previously before we move on to other parts of this video or this chapter per se.